Howdy, folks. How are y'all doing? Cub here, and welcome back to this terrible game, which is Starch Wars. Starch Wars. That doesn't make any sense. That's not even the Starch Wars theme song. It's today is not Friday, but that's the level we're playing, and hopefully we'll fix it without magic marmalade. Although I'll be honest, if it gets down to it, I'll just use the magic marmalade. I'm not. Look. We're just playing this game to kill time until the big April drop-off when I stop doing everything to move into my house. I felt it was important to document today's events despite no official session. Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that there. Become toast! They make it sound so easy. The directions are so... Am I in the trash can? What a terrible way to start this. What? I can't even see my way out of here. How am I supposed to... This is the... How much you want to bet if I touch the bottom of the... No, okay. Alright, I'll give the game that. It's not going to make me die for touching the bottom of the trash can. Although saying that, surely we're not going to be edible after crawling out of this dumpster. That makes no sense at all. Now, can we dump this thing over? Oh, hot dog. Go with it, go with it, go with it. What? Am I stuck here? What is happening? This is not a good start to things. I'll tell you that right now. Alright, can we... Oh, no. Yep, totally saw that coming. So how are y'all doing out there in the great big world of YouTube? We haven't talked a whole lot lately. Let's get to chatting. Let's get to knowing one another. Good chat, everyone. Excellent chat. So enjoyed talking to you, as I often do. I don't really have many things to talk about. I'm looking into buying an electric motorcycle. I really like the Zero SR. Thing is, turns out getting a driver's license... Oh, not a driver's license, but a motorcycle license in Texas costs like $200 and something to take this silly safety course. Nonsense. And I'm like, what? And you have to take like 3 days of your life you'll never get back in order to do it. Plus you also have to pay like $12,000 for the motorcycle. And I'm like, well, maybe not now since I'm buying a house, but at some point, it's so cool. I want to get one. I totally want to get one. I'm gonna make that happen. It's one of those things that, you know what? It's my dream. And I'll be darned if anyone's gonna stand between me and my dream, including you, state of Texas, and your weird motorcycle. And I understand the reason for the motorcycle laws. It's important that people operating motorcycles, you know what they're doing, but still, that's a bit absurd to take this whole training course and, it's ridiculous. I don't want to have to do any of it, but I've got to. It's what has to happen. And at 3 days of my life, an entire weekend, seems a bit much, but if that's what it's got to be, so be it. Or I can just drive around unlicensed, which, don't get me wrong, I have considered. I realize... Yeah, it's not right. It's definitely not lawful, but, I mean, if I can get the bike and I can get the insurance, I'll worry about it. I mean, here's my plan for it was to use it driving from my house to my parents' house, which isn't that far, my new house, that is. And I'm like, you know what? What's the worst that can happen? And, my luck, something terrible would happen. I'd be like a terrible wreck, and I'd be like, hey, insurance, and they'd be like, oh, you know what, we insured it, but you know what, you don't have a valid driver's license for your motorcycle. I'm afraid we're not going to be able to pay for this. And then like some state trooper, because you know how those guys are, they're the worst. If you ever get pulled over, hope it's by either a police officer or like a sheriff's deputy. Don't get pulled over by a state trooper, because he's going to see it as an opportunity to make a legacy for himself and be like, oh yeah, they're going to be talking about me for years. They're going to be talking about the time I arrested that guy for driving without a motorcycle's license and threw him in the brig for a week. And he doesn't understand that it's not a brig, it's just a jail cell, because he's convinced he's doing something so much more noble and grand than he really is, which is just writing tickets to grandmas for going a little bit over the speed limit. Not even like a dangerous amount, just enough to be like, hey, grandma. I don't like state troopers. I've had terrible experiences with them in the past. I've never gotten I did get a ticket once, but I got it waived, and it wasn't by a state trooper. And I totally deserved a ticket because I was going 85 in a 60. And the guy's like, hey, I'm going to have to write you a ticket. And I was like, yeah, I understand. But no, I got pulled over by a state trooper once for driving on the improved shoulder when prohibited. Turned out, in retrospect, he just wanted to harass me because I just bought a car. And I'm like, you know what? You suck. And I don't wish ill on him. Like, I would never do anything wrong to him. But if he's, like, standing on the side of the road one day and someone on a motorcycle, like, runs over his foot and breaks his foot for the rest of his life, I think I'd be okay with that. Like, I wouldn't be happy. Wouldn't be upset either. It's sort of like if Salesman Jim were to go on a cruise and then fall off into the ocean and never be heard from again. It's not what I'd want for Salesman Jim, but at the same time, I'm not shedding any tears for him. So Salesman Jim can fall into the ocean, and this state trooper, not all of them, just that one, maybe all of them, can have their feet ran over by a guy on a motorcycle. Not intentionally, of course. I say motorcycle because I don't want it to be like a serious injury. I mean, I understand the guy, like, I don't want him to like be out for life, right? Just, he has to go to the hospital and get someone to look at his poor little broken foot, because they all have little feet. And, like, I understand he thinks he's doing a good job. Really, the truth is he just has an inferiority complex, and he feels like he can fix that by being extremely over the top. And it's sad, but it's what it is. He was probably bullied in school, you know, some bigger kid who's now probably like a CEO, and he's like, you know what? I can't beat up a CEO, but I can become a state trooper and write him a ticket every day of his life. And then that's where the bullies are now, friends. That's where they are. I feel like we've gotten into a very weird area of conversation. I realize some of you might be related to state troopers, in which case, I'm sorry that you're related to state troopers. If I've upset you, I'm not sorry. I will not apologize for upsetting you, because I don't care. Like, that fundamentally, I think that's like the most important issue here, is that I don't care. It's a free country. The First Amendment is literally a right to upset people. I know some people don't view it that way, but the idea of freedom of speech is that you can say whatever you want to without fear of anyone, like, any repercussions from anyone for any reason. If the idea of freedom of speech was that you can say things that won't bother anyone, then what's the point of having it? So, if you are bothered, it wasn't my intention, but I also don't care, and I'm not going to do anything about it, because whatever, you're just a terrible person too. Your evil state trooper uncle goes around writing tickets to grandmas because they were looking in the rearview mirror when they should have been looking forward, and they ran over a squirrel. And you know what? You're probably just as bad. Just gonna throw that out there. And I realize I've generalized a lot here. I've basically said all state troopers are a certain way, but I also don't care, because generalizations can be fun, because they can elicit very fun reactions out of people. I don't know if you've ever done anything, like, I'm not trying to intentionally upset someone, but if I do, sometimes they act in very absurd, over-the-top ways, and you're just like, wow, you were so offended by that, it's almost fun to watch your reaction. It's almost enjoyable for me to see how absurdly upset by this tiny little thing you have become. And then it does become entertainment. Like, it doesn't start that way, but as people kind of freak out over things, it's just like, wow, you are so sadly obsessed with this that it is hysterical. And maybe that's wrong of me. But then again, maybe I don't care. Maybe I do get, like, pleasure out of other people's weird reactions to I think some people are just too sensitive, and I think that that's probably one of the main things that's wrong with society these days. Everyone gets their feelings hurt over everything, and somehow we've gotten into the habit of making people think that, oh, your feelings were hurt, then you're owed an apology. You're not owed an apology just because your feelings are hurt. I could tell someone who's, like, I don't know, fallen over drunk, be like, hey, you're a drunk. You should stop drinking so much. And they could be like, yeah, it offends me. And I'll be like, I don't care. What I care about is the fact that you're drunk on the floor and it's not good for you. Well, it offends me. Well, it offends me that you won't listen to me. And you see the kind of circles we get into? So generally, whenever people tell me they've been offended, I just don't care. I can't be made to care. I won't care. So if you were offended at any point at all while ever watching anything I've ever done or listening to me talk about anything at all, please know I understand that you're offended and I don't care. Also, comment down below what offended you, and I will promptly ignore it, or depending on how stupid it is, I might just delete it outright, because that's another good thing to do, is just delete annoying comments. Oh gosh. Okay, you know what? Can we rest here? No, we can't rest here. We're gonna die out here, aren't we? Pretty standard. Oh gosh. Okay. That was kind of good. We sort of recovered. The problem is climbing up these stacked chairs. Can we just get inside the chairs? Nope. Well, Shrek me, that happened again. I've been talking a lot about how hypersensitive people are and about how it's ruining society. That's all political correctness is. Like, the whole idea of political correctness. Don't say things to offend people. Well, you know what? I don't care if people get offended. If they get offended, they can just not listen. They can go somewhere else. If they're upset, boo-hoo for them. The world is an upsetting place. People are dying from starvation. Sad day that you got your feelings hurt. When I was growing up, we grew up in a world where sticks and stones could break your bones, but words couldn't hurt you. And that's what we taught kids. We taught them, hey, you know what? People are going to say things that upset you. Just get over it. Be tougher. Be stronger. Understand that at the end of the day, other people's thoughts, other people's opinions don't matter. I have a group of people whose opinions matter to me in my life. And guess what? As much as I love my subscribers, I do care about your opinions on certain things, like quality of videos, let's plays, what you want to, like things like that. But if you're just like, Cub, you're stupid, I don't care, because your opinion in that area doesn't matter to me. I have other people's whose opinions in that area are far more important to me. And growing up, that's what you were taught. It's like, look, what people say about you does not affect you. It doesn't. Newsflash. If someone says something mean and it hurts your feelings, it doesn't matter, because it in no way actually negatively impacts your life. It might hurt your feelings, your precious feelings, but guess what? Life goes on. Nowadays, kids are taught, oh no, don't say mean things to people because it might upset their feelings, and if they their feelings upset, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world because it's all a bunch of BS. That's what's wrong with society right now. Kids are wimps. Kids are wimps, and they're being raised to be wimpier every day. It's the most pathetic, nonsensical. Parents. Not my parents' generation, because like I say, my parents' generation did a fabulous job. Whatever generation. Sorry, I'm getting something out of my teeth. Whatever generation came along after them, whoever's currently raising children around 14 years old, you have failed society. You have ruined, and who knows, maybe it was my parents' generation. Maybe they grew up with all that tough stuff, and they were like, you know what? When I think back to high school 30 years ago, this one time Shelly told me I was fat, and it's not my fault I was 300 pounds. Shelly was mean, and I'm going to start an initiative to have children who say mean things like that arrested. You know what? If you're an adult and you can't get over things people told you in your past, you have bigger issues here than the fact that you were offended. You need some serious therapy or something, because you are messed up way beyond what you know. And it's not, guess what? It's not the fault of people who upset you. It's not the fault of people who said mean things to you that you are messed up like this. It's your own fault. Because, I don't know, maybe you're just too sensitive. Maybe you're unable to recognize that you have flaws that need to be taken care of. When you know what people tell me when they tell me I'm fat, I'm like, yeah, no almost said something there. I can't believe it. I don't curse, for those of you who haven't realized yet, on my YouTube videos or in real life, but right then I got so riled up. I was right on the edge of it, because this is something that upsets me, and I realize this is a weird place to talk about it, but now that I'm going, I'm not gonna stop. Stop being babies. For Pete's sake, if you're fat and someone tells you you're fat, guess what? You're fat. Welcome to the club. You know what? You want to do something about it? How about instead of whining that people shouldn't body shame me, how about you just not care, or you do something about it? That's what you do. Right there. Either you don't care, or if you're too big a sissy to not care, if you can't get over it, then go do something about it. But you know what? If you're constantly seeking other people's approval, you're never going to be happy. You're never going to, oh, I finally got skinny. Your hair's a stupid color. Dyed my hair. You drive a dumb car. You're never going to make people happy. And guess what? Even if you silence people, they're still going to have opinions about you. Even if people never tell you you're fat, guess what? Everyone thinks that you're fat, so I'm sorry. But your argument in this issue, you imaginary person I've dreamt up in my head, you're doomed. You're doomed to a life of sad unhappiness, and I do not pity you. I do not, because you get what you pay for, and if you're unwilling to work hard to either A, stop caring what people think, or B, please everyone, which is definitely not an option, then you know what? You deserve to be miserable. You're too sensitive, and good riddance to you. And dadgummit, if I'm not already sick and miserable of this stupid game, I'm taking the marmalade. Darn it, say what you will. Say I'm terrible at this game. That's fine, it's true. But you know what? I got some marmalade now, and darn it, we're gonna get to the end of this thing and unlock the last couple of days, and then in a couple of weeks, we're gonna be done with this game, and I'm gonna be moving into my new house. I keep calling it an apartment. It's not, definitely not an apartment. Fling out. Just darn it, to the floor. Excellent. How do I get over there? Boom. So we just alternate this kind of a walking method here. You see where I'm going with this? And this will get us over to the light. Whew! I'm all fired up. I'm all shaken up inside. My blood is racing. I have to go to the bathroom. I have got to urinate like you would not believe. I got to get this done pretty quick, because if I don't know why getting all excited like that has caused like my bladder to suddenly tighten up and be like, all right, come on, we're done here. But you know what? It's what happened. Is this not it? There's not even a light bulb in this thing. I feel completely gypped. I thought for sure this is where we were headed, and now I feel completely ripped off. I guess that's what I get for not actually paying attention, and instead raging against the machine. But I don't regret it. Also, I still want my electric motorcycle. I've been looking at them all day, and I'm like, that would be great. But again, really, 3 days, and we're not talking. Okay, look, the first class. Okay, you go. It is from 8 o'clock. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was from 6 o'clock to what was it? 6 to 10, I think. So 4 hours on Friday. The next day, it's 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. again with a break for lunch. That's like work. That's like going to a job. That is absurd. And then again on Sunday from 8 to 4. And I'm like, now the good thing about this is you don't have to take a written test. It waives your written test. And you don't have to take a driving test. It waives the driving test. The thing is, though, and just call me crazy on this one, but doesn't that seem just a bit excessive? You don't even go through all of that to get a regular driver's license. I already have a regular driver's license. Why do I have to go through all this nonsense? I don't want my Class M driver's license. That's what it's for, though. That's what I'm trying to figure out, though, is do I actually have to do all of those things if I already have a regular driver's license? Or can I just take, like, the accelerated, hey, you already have a normal driver's license? Congratulations, here, just do this other thing and you'll be done quick. Wonder if I can get cooked on a light bulb. That light bulb up there would be great. There's a chainsaw. Where the fudge am I going right now? What is even happening? Oh, look at that. Lukewarm. All right, let's figure this out. Let's scooch along in here. See, now that would be smart if I could say, hey, you know what? I've already taken my regular driving course. I've already got a regular driver's license. How about just like a one-day event? A one-day event where they're like, you already know all the rules of the road. Here's how you do it on a motorcycle. And then they're like, here, go. And maybe you still have to take a written test when you go in to get the license. That's fine. And look, it'd be one thing if at the end of this I had my driver's license, but I won't. I'll just have a certificate saying I can go get my driver's license to drive a motorcycle. Even after all that, I still have to go deal with like 10-hour lines at the DPS office. Have to take another, well, I don't have to take the test. The test is waived, but I have to bring all these forms of ID up in there. It's ridiculous. It's bureaucracy at its worst. I don't think it's a bureaucratic thing. I think it was probably dreamt up by our wonderful Congress. Okay, lukewarm is on. So there's heat coming off of here. Fantastic. Can we just drop? Drop. Be careful with this can. No, not too far. All right, looks like we're pretty close. All right, yeah, okay, right on. 15, 22. Oh, this is great. I love this. We'll be there in no time. I'm worried it's only the bottom half of the bread's getting toasted right now. But at the same time, I find it hard to care. Because look at this. We're almost toasted to 100%. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Let's go. Come on. The bottom of the toast is going to get burnt, isn't it? Darn it. I actually have to lay it flat. Alright, that's fine. How do I do this? Do I just boogie backwards a bit? Lay down flat. And then we're looking at 4 and 3 to flip it upright. Oh, nope. Okay, too far. And then just plop. Oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's a little bit burnt. That's a bit of a concern. Oh, it still needs improvement, obviously, because we did use the magic marmalade. But we unlocked the garden. If we go back to our menu and we take a look at what we've got ahead of us. Only 2 more days left, folks, and then we'll be done with this game, and we'll be entering the dark period known as April 2016, where I'm only going to be releasing a video a week. But I'll record a lot of the moving process in case anyone's interested in that. How did I get a deliciousness score on here when I didn't get one on any of these? I mean, I know I used magic marmalade here. Don't say that I didn't. So how come it got a deliciousness score? Oh, maybe it's because I smothered myself in jam. Maybe so. There's a lot of other things you can do here. Rampage, cheese hunt, 0G. I don't know what that does. Some free roam? I'm not sure why you would want to, honestly. And a rampage. Oh, what? What? Later. Okay. Well, thank you folks for watching. And until next time, God bless you. I'll see you later. Bye.